7th grade academic test, 6-1, financial literacy. Question number 1, Tamara invested $15,000 in an account that pays 4% annual simple interest. I'm highlighting some important keywords. Tamara will not make any additional deposits or withdrawals. How much interest will Tamara earn on her investment at the end of 3 years? So remember, our formula for simple interest will be I equals PRT, and that can be found on your star chart. We are looking for interest, so that's what we don't know. Our principal, P, is the invested $15,000. So plug that in. Our rate is 4%, and remember to change it to a decimal by moving the decimal place 2 places to the left. So we have 0.04. And T is time in years, and they gave us the time of 3 years. We would multiply all 3 of those numbers. And after multiplying those numbers, we would get 1,800, which is I. And so our answer here on number 1 was C, 1,800. Question number 2, Josh deposited money into an account that earns simple annual interest. So again, we're going to be doing simple interest. This time they're asking for the total amount of money he will have in the account after 20 years. And they gave us all of our information right here. We have our principal, our R, our rate, and T for time. So start with the formula. I equals PRT. We know that the principal is $1,500. The rate would be 0.06. And the time is 20 years. Again, we're going to multiply all 3 of those numbers. And when we do that, we get 1,800. Remember that when it asks for the total, that means that they want us to add the principal plus interest. So we will take our interest of $1,800 and we will add the principal of $1,500 and we get $3,300, which is C. Question number 3, which correctly shows a list of assets and liabilities? Remember that assets are things that you own and liabilities are things that you owe money on. So let's look at A, mortgage as an asset. That is definitely not true. B, assets would be home value, car value, savings account, that's your money. Retirement savings, that's your money. Credit card. Credit card is not an asset, that's a liability. C, assets would be home value, car value, yes, savings account, yes, retirement savings, yes. So far, so good. Liabilities, credit card, yep, that's a liability. Mortgage, that's what you pay on your house every month, that's a liability. And your car loan, that would be a correct statement, a correct list of assets and liabilities. Question number 4. The Johnson family has a monthly budget of $2,750. So their budget comes out to that much. How much did they spend on clothes? How much, as in money? And we're going to be zeroing in on the clothes section. So clothes was 15%. 15% out of 100%. And then I'm going to be setting up a proportion where I'm missing the part out of the total budget of $2,750. To solve this proportion, I would need to figure out how would I get from 100 to 2,750. If you did not know that, you could divide 2,750 by 100. Does not go into 2, does not fit into 27, but it will fit into 275 2 times. It will go into 750 7 times. Add a decimal and a 0. Bring down the 0. And 100 will go into 500 5 times. Exactly. No remainder, so I'm finally finished. And now I know that 100 times 27.5 would give me 2,750. So I will take that scale factor and also use it to help me find x. So therefore 15 times 27.5 will give me x. And when I multiply that, I would probably want to set it up like this. Remember that you don't need to line up your decimals. I'm going to go ahead and do that one on the calculator. And 27.5 times 15 comes out to 412.5. So $412.50 is what the Johnson family spends on clothes. Okay, question number 5. The Smith family has the following net worth statement. What is the family's net worth? To find net worth, I need to subtract my assets minus liabilities. So they've already given me my total assets. That's going to be helpful, but they have not totaled up my liabilities. But when I add up all of my liabilities, we have a total liabilities of $50,275. So we will use our formula there to find net worth by subtracting our assets minus our liabilities. So 115,875 minus 50,275 comes out to be 65,600, which is answer choice D. Question number 6. The table shows Peter's net worth. Assets are shown as positive numbers and liabilities are shown as negative numbers. The value of Peter's house is not given. Peter's net worth is $101,800. Based on the information in the table, what is the current value of Peter's house? So you can see here that we don't know this. We're still going to use our formula to find net worth. And net worth, remember, is assets minus liabilities. And we're going to go ahead and total our assets and liabilities, what we do have. So here are our two liabilities. Remember, they said they would be marked with a negative. When I combine those two, I have $19,700 in liabilities. And when I total the assets that I do have, assets come to be $23,500. So I'm going to plug this into this equation. Net worth, which I know is $101,800. I know that some of my assets are $23,500 plus, I'm going to use H for that missing house value, minus my liabilities, which is $19,700. And now I'm going to solve this like an equation. I can do this math. I can subtract 23,500 minus 19,700. And when I do that, I get 3,800. So H, which would be my asset since it's positive, plus H equals 101,800. So if I'm solving for this equation, I want H. I'm going to get rid of or cancel out 3,800 by subtracting it on both sides. 3,800. And when I subtract that, I get 98,000 equals H, which is answer choice C. So the house value is 98,000. You had to kind of work backwards on that one. Question number 7. Which equation can be used to determine why the minimum amount of money a family must earn to meet the requirements of this budget for 1 year? Okay, notice the title of this budget says monthly. So if this totals 3,600 for a month, I would multiply that times 12 to figure out the yearly budget. So my equation would be A, y equals 3,600 times 12. Question number 8. The following are the basic monthly expenses for a family of 12 parents and 1 child living in Southeast Texas. Which is not true about the household budget? So we've got a total of $3,095. So we're going to check all of these answer choices and figure out the false statement. At least $37,140 annually, which means yearly, is needed to cover the basic living expenses. Okay, so we would take our $3,095 and multiply it by 12 so that I get a yearly budget. And when I do that, it comes out to be $37,140, making a true statement. Yes, $37,140 would be their annual budget if I base it on this per month times 12 months in a year. I get that. B, a weekly net income of $706 would be enough money to cover the basic expenses for 1 month. And we're telling you to use 4 weeks per month. So I will take those two numbers, 706 times 4, and that comes out to $2,824, which is below their current monthly budget. So B is a false statement. That would not be enough money to cover their basic monthly expenses based on our information. So B is my false statement, which is the one that it is looking for. Question number 9. Emma loans $4,500 to a friend and charges them 5% interest compounded annually. How much will Emma's friend pay her back in 2 years? So notice we had the word compounded annually. Guys, that tells you to use your compound interest formula, which again can be found on your star chart. And it is A equals P, parentheses 1 plus R to the power of T. Okay, P still stands for principal, R still stands for the interest rate, T stands for time in years. A is a new letter, a new variable, and it stands for the total money in the account. So we'll keep that in mind. So we're going to plug in our information. She loans $4,500. That's the principal. Numbers don't change in formulas. So 1 plus my interest rate, which again, change it to a decimal like we did earlier. So 0.05. And T is time in years, which is 2 for this problem. Remember that order of operations states that we do what's in the parentheses first. So we would get 1.05 squared times 4,500. The next step in order of operations would be the exponent. Remember that squaring a number means to multiply by itself. For the sake of time, I'm going to do this in the calculator for us. 1.05 times 1.05 is 1.1025. We would then multiply that times 4,500. And again, I'm going to save us all some time and do that very quickly in the calculator. And we get A is equal to $4,961.25. It did ask how much will Emma's friend pay her back. Guys, she's going to pay her back what she borrowed plus the interest, which is A. So $4,961.25 will be the correct answer for number 9. Question number 10. The Halstead family monthly budget is shown below. If the monthly budget is $4,158, what percent did the Halstead family spend on housing? So let's go look at housing. Housing is $1,400. So we're going to set up a proportion. $1,400 is part of the total budget of $4,158 would be equal to X over 100. So we need to figure out how to go from 4,158 to get to 100. Remember, if we don't know that, we can divide. So 4,158 divided by 100 is 41.58. So divide by 41.58. And so we'll have to divide 1,400 by 41.58. 1,400 divided by 41.58. Okay, and you would set it up like this. 41.58 on the outside. We would get 0.02405. And in our question, it says to round to the nearest percent. So we would change this decimal to a percent by moving the decimal 2 spaces to the right. So we have 2.4%, which would round Okay, let's go back and redo that calculation. When I divide, let's try to do it a different way. I'm going to divide this top in, bottom out. 1,400 divided by 4,158. I would get a decimal value again, 1,400. I think I entered it a while ago backwards in the calculator. Okay, and I get 0.336 and then a whole bunch more digits. Okay, again, I'm going to move that decimal 2 spaces to the right, 1, 2. Okay, and that would be 33.6%, which would round to 34%. B. Question number 11. If the total budget is $3,500, what percentage did Isabel spend on retirement savings? Okay, retirement savings, she spent $250. $250 is part of the whole $3,500 equals X over 100. Okay, if I solve this proportion, I would simplify this ratio to make my numbers a little bit smaller. And then I can see that 350 divided by 3.5 will give me 100. So now I will need to do 25 divided by 3.5. And 25 divided by 3.5 is 0.071, which would round to 7 which is D. All right, last question, number 12. Using Isabel's personal monthly family budget from question 11, which correctly shows a list of variable expenses? Variable expenses, remember, are the ones that vary or change from month to month. Entertainment, yep, that's variable. Utilities, that's variable. Gasoline, that's variable. Clothing, that's variable. And food is also variable. So it is looking like A is our true statement. Those are all variable expenses.